friends, welcome back to Danzique Fitness and welcome to my third video in my Ballet 101 series. So if you missed my last one, I strongly encourage that you go back and watch it. I will link it down below. We talk about correct body placement and posture. We also talk about correct leg and foot alignment, and we also talk about the basic positions of the feet, the arms, and the fingers, which is so important. It really, really is. So if you missed that one, please go and check that out. Again, I will link it down below. Now in today's video, it's all about turnout, aka external rotation from the hips. So we're going to go over how to properly find your external rotation, and I'm going to show you some great stretches to help you improve your turnout, as well as some strengthening exercises. Okay, guys? So let's get started. Here we go. So in my last video, I showed you how to find your true external rotation, and we're just going to go over that once again very quickly since it's so important. Belly button in and up, tailbone is dropped down, legs start in a parallel position. We're going to flex up those feet and externally rotate the legs from the hip. Now, do not stick the butt out. It'll allow you to rotate your legs even more, but that's not your true turnout. So you have to keep that tailbone down, and then you lower the feet down, and that is your true external rotation. We never want to force it because it puts pressure on the knees and hips, which is not good, so don't force that turnout. All right, let's get down on our mats and start with some stretching and strengthening exercises. Take a nice inhale here. Exhale as you roll about halfway back. And then we're going to bend those arms to prop ourselves up on our forearms. Let's bend the knees. And we're going to point those toes, really push the floor away. And we're going to open the knees to the side and then squeeze the legs together. Good. Open, open, and squeeze in tight. Good. So we're really squeezing those buns to open the knees, pushing them down to the floor as much as we can. And then when you close the legs, don't just close them, really close and squeeze them together as tight as you can. Good. If you have a TheraBand at home, you can always tie a TheraBand around your thighs for some added resistance. Keep pushing the floor away with the arms. We don't want to slouch. Sitting up nice and tall, core engaged, long neck, shoulders down. Good. Let's stay here and float the right leg up and lower down. And same thing left. Develope, lower down and bring it in. Let's keep alternating. Develope up, lower down with control, bend it in. Good. So we're really working the inner thighs here. Try to maintain your external rotation as you develope the leg up. Of course, lower down with control. Don't make any noise. And then we bend that knee back in. Good. Make sure you're breathing. We're never holding the breath. Work slowly. Stay in control. Nice work, everyone. All right, let's lengthen out the legs and use your core to roll the body back up to a seated position. Flex the feet and let's just exhale over the legs. Drop the head down nice and heavy. Good. Feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings, calf, Achilles. And try to make a flat back. And we'll round the back. Drop the head down nice and heavy once again. And roll up through the spine. Beautiful. Let's take a nice inhale. Exhale. We're going to take it about halfway back once again. Bend the arms to prop yourself up. And we bend those knees once again. Point the toes. Open the knees to the side. And we're going to extend just the right leg out a little bit more, still keeping that knee bent. And we're going to lift the leg up. So these are our attitude lifts to the front. Now, what I really want you to focus on is lifting the leg from the inner thigh. We don't want to grip the quads. All of this lovely external rotation is really happening from that inner thigh. Let's pulse the leg up. Good. We're going to flex the foot now. Open the leg to the side without twisting the body and point the foot and bring the leg back to that attitude position. Flex and open. Bend and point. Flex and open. Good. Try to keep the whole body nice and still. It's just that right leg that is moving from the hip joint. Hold the core nice and tight and bring it in. Good. Flex and open. Bend and bring it in. Flex and open. And bend, bring it in. Beautiful. We'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So lengthen the left leg a little bit more, but still keeping that knee bent. And again, we lift the leg up from that inner thigh. Lower down with control. Good. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Keep pushing the floor away with the arms. Lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. Good, everyone. And let's pulse the leg up. Try to keep that knee up pointing to the side and never the sky. Try to maintain that nice external rotation. Don't worry about the height of the leg. We really just want to focus on lifting the leg from that inner thigh. And now we flex and open to the side and bring it back in. Keep going, flex and open and bring it in. Good. This is obviously a great exercise also for the core. You really have to keep that core engaged so we keep the rest of the body nice and still. Again, it's just that left leg that's moving now from the hip joint. Good. Flex and open. Point, bring it in. Flex and open. And point, bring it in. Flex, open. And point in. And we'll lower back down. Beautiful work, everyone. Good. Lengthen the legs nice and long. Catch yourself. Release the arms to roll up. Again, flex the feet and just exhale over the legs. Drop the head down nice and heavy. Deep breaths here. And we'll try to make a flat back. Good. And once again, round the back, drop the head down, and roll up through the spine. Good work, everyone. And let's get into our butterfly, but this time we're going to have one foot closer to the body and the other foot in front of that foot, and just reach forward, round the back, and drop the head down. So you're going to feel this within the hip joint. And sequentially roll up through the spine, place the hands behind the body, and now we reverse the curve by pushing the hips forward, arching the back, and letting the head go back. Let's swap feet, and we'll do it one more time. Slide the hands forward. Stay, stay, stay. Deep breaths. And roll up through the spine and arch it back. Really push those hips forward as far as you can. And then we'll lower back down with control. All right, friends, let's move on to our next exercise. Legs are long. Again, we inhale, scoop the belly, tuck the tail, and we're going to take it about halfway back again. Bend the arms to prop yourself up. Flex the feet, externally rotate from the hip joint. And now we lift the right leg up. This time it's straight, and then we alternate left. Right up, lower down. Left up, lower down. Good. So just as we talked about earlier, when we lift the leg up and lower down, we're doing it with our inner thigh. So try to keep the knee and the toes facing out to the sides as much as you can. Let's pulse that leg up. If you're doing this correctly, you're going to feel it more so in the inner thigh than anything else. Yes, your quads are activated to some extent, but you should feel it more in the inner thigh than the quad.
Good. Keep breathing, and let's lift up the left, and we'll pulse up the left. Good. Again, don't worry about the height of the leg. Just really focus on lifting the leg with that inner thigh. Good. Beautiful work, everyone. Keep breathing. Shoulders down. And we lower the leg with control. Beautiful work. Catch yourself. Release the arms. And then we'll take it all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. Let's bend both knees. Point the toes. Heels are lifting off the mat. And we'll just take a moment here to breathe in our butterfly stretch. Good. Just feel those knees drop down to the floor. And now let's lengthen the legs out nice and long. Externally rotate the legs. Arms go out to the side like a T. Let your arms help you. Push them down into the floor. And now we develope the right leg to the front and lower down with control. Same thing left. Pass through your coupe, your passe, your attitude. Lengthening nice and long and lower down. Good. So we want to do these developes just as we would do standing up, right? I think they're a hell of a lot easier doing it this way, laying down, but it really, really helps you think about that wonderful external rotation. Good. Really passing through each position nice and clearly, keeping the knee and thigh pushing out to the side as much as you can the whole entire time. Good, everyone. I have my dance students do these often. I find they really, really help. Good. Drag the toes up the leg, extend long and lower down. Beautiful. Let's internally rotate the legs to a parallel position, and we'll just hug the knees into the chest. And you could just rock the knees side to side to release any tension in the back. And if you need to, you can also rock the head side to side to release any tension in the neck. Let's lengthen the legs straight up this time. Externally rotate them. Flex the feet. So we're in a ballet first position. And now very slowly, we're going to open both legs to the side into our straddle split. And then using the inner thighs, we squeeze the legs back together. And again, open nice and slowly. This is all about control. And we squeeze the legs together. Good. And again, work slowly, stay in control. Open, open, open as big as you can. Use those inner thighs, squeezing the legs and heels back together. Good. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's definitely a tough one. If you want to amp it up, you're going to lace up your fingers, place the hands behind the head, and curl the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. And this just allows us to target that core a little bit more. If it's too much, just keep your head down. That's fine. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing. Stay at a nice, slow, steady pace. Open, open, open with control. And slowly squeeze, 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 squeeze in. And open slowly. Good. Let's hold it here. If you want, you can place the hands on the inner thighs or the calves or even the ankles. Good. And relax that head down if it was curled off the mat. And we'll just take some nice deep breaths here. Good. Allow your hands to sort of assist your legs further down to the floor. This is a great position to just hang out in. You can always have your legs up against a wall. That works too. And then we'll bend the knees back into that butterfly position. Good. Nice work, everyone. All right, place the hands behind the thighs. Give yourself a little rock back so you can pull yourself up. And let's lay on our side. So we're going to stack the legs, stack the shoulders, and we open that top leg into our clamshell. So when we do this exercise, make sure when you open the leg that you're not rocking back or opening the upper body towards the back. We want to keep the shoulders stacked. We want to keep the hips stacked. Again, just the leg is moving from the hip joint. So this does require a good amount of core strength as well. Good, really squeezing those buns as we open. And now let's do the same exercise, but we're going to tilt the legs on a diagonal. So knees stay on the floor, but toes are reaching towards the back corner of the room. And we open and squeeze. Good. Keep those big toes glued together. Open and squeeze. Lower down with control. Nice work, everyone. Good. You should really be feeling the burn by now. And we will swing the legs around. Let's repeat it on the other side. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips, core engaged. And we keep those big toes together. Open the top leg. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze open and lower down with control. Good, everyone. As I said earlier, make sure you're not rocking back and opening up the body. Just that top leg is moving from the hip joint. Everything else stays nice and quiet. Good. Again, if you have a TheraBand at home, this is a great exercise. If you want a little bit more resistance, you could tie the TheraBand around those thighs. Good. Keep breathing, never holding the breath. I know it burns. Keep going. Good job, everyone. Keep those big toes together. Open and squeeze. Lower down with control. Nice work. Let's sit up nice and tall and we'll flip over on to the bellies. Let's go into our frog position, another great position to really open up those hips. When you're in this position, the most important thing is to have your butt down. We don't want to have the booty up in the air. So butt down first, and then the longer you stay in this position, your feet will gradually lower more and more down to the floor. Let's point the toes here. Big toes together. Make sure your feet are in good alignment. And then we'll flex the feet, touching the heels together. Let's have both feet flat, glued to one another, and we're going to push the floor away. So when you're in this position, just like in any other back extension, make sure that core is engaged. We're pulling the belly button in and up to protect the lower back, and you're trying to drop those hip bones down to the floor as much as you can. Great for the hip flexors as well. Let's open the legs about the width of the mat, and again, we'll push up. Again, belly button in and up to the spine. And let's sit up nice and tall, and let's try our pretzel stretch. Now, this one is a killer. I'm not going to lie, but this is probably one of the best stretches to do for your external rotation. I'm sitting up nice and tall. Both knees are in the center of my body, and they're stacked. My feet are making a straight line from toes to toe. I'm going to grab onto my ankles. And as you can tell by my reaction, I feel this stretch pretty much immediately just getting into this position. Now, if your hips are maybe a little bit looser and this position isn't quite as painful for you, you can try to lean forward, which will increase the stretch a little bit more. This is definitely a stretch that you want to stay in for several minutes. Try to take some nice deep breaths, and then you can switch to the other side. So if you want to pause this video, you can. And here we go on the other side. Same thing, knee on top of knee. The knees are in the center of the body, straight line from toes to toe. Good, and you'll probably notice one side always feels a little looser than the other. Unfortunately, we are not symmetrical. Good, and if you'd like, you can pause this video here if you want to hang out in this stretch a little bit longer. That's it. All right, let me show you a second variation, and I do encourage you try both variations, and obviously the one that you feel the most is probably the one that you want to do more often. Now in this variation, I am stacking one leg on top of the other. I have my right foot over my left knee and right knee on top of my left foot. Again, take some nice deep breaths. You can lean forward if you feel the stretch more. And let's swap legs and try the other side. Good, leaning forward, deep breaths. Okay, everyone, I really hope you enjoyed this third video in my Ballet 101 series. Please stay consistent with these stretches and strengthening exercises. Remember, it's not an immediate fix. You really do have to be consistent, and I promise you, you will see and feel a difference. Stick with these exercises. They're great to do before class and after class. And take care of you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.